Most investors think they are investing in the future, but many are actually investing in yesterday's economy. While the world focuses on stock prices, a much bigger shift is happening underneath. Capital is moving. Governments are repositioning. Entire industries are being rebuilt from the ground up, and the money is following. The question is, are you on the right side of that shift? This is AxisShift. In recent videos on this channel, we tracked the forces reshaping the global economy. We showed how AI is eliminating entire categories of white-collar work faster than most people realize. We showed how one Dutch company controls the single most important technology in modern chip manufacturing, and how that makes it the center of a new technological Cold War. We showed how 17 obscure metals are being used as weapons in a geopolitical battle that never makes the front page. These are not random topics. They represent the backbone of the next decade of economic growth. And here is what connects all of them. Follow the money. Since 2020, governments and corporations have committed trillions of dollars toward AI infrastructure, semiconductor manufacturing, energy security, cybersecurity, and defense. New chip plants are being built in Arizona, Texas, Germany, and India. Data centers are consuming record amounts of electricity, driving massive investment into energy infrastructure. Defense budgets are rising across Europe and Asia at rates not seen since the Cold War. The next decade is being funded right now. This is the Great Capital Rotation, the largest coordinated movement of money in a generation, flowing toward the technologies and sectors that will define the next 20 years. And most ordinary investors are completely missing it. So if trillions of dollars are moving into these trends, the obvious question becomes, how do ordinary investors participate? Most people assume the answer is stock picking. History suggests otherwise. Here is the uncomfortable truth. In 2025, 79% of professional fund managers failed to beat the S&P 500. People with Ivy League degrees, billion-dollar research teams, decades of experience. Over longer periods, 10 and 15 years, between 70 and 90% of active funds underperform their benchmark, and they charge you for the privilege. A typical active fund charges between 0.5 and 1% annually. A passive index ETF charges as little as 0.03%. Applied to a $100,000 portfolio over 30 years, that fee difference alone costs you $200,000 in lost compounding. $200,000. Not because of bad investments, simply because of what you paid someone to manage them. This is why the shift is happening. Global ETF assets have crossed $13 trillion. The world's largest sovereign wealth funds, managing the wealth of entire nations, predominantly hold index ETFs. The institutions that manage more money than most countries produce, they are not picking stocks. They are owning everything. And here is why that connects directly to everything we have been tracking. When you own a broad market ETF like VOO, you own a slice of every major US company benefiting from the AI boom. When you own a technology ETF like QQQ or NDQ, you own the companies building on top of the chip infrastructure we covered. When you own a global ETF like VGAD or VGS, you own exposure to the entire rotation of global economic power. You do not need to predict which individual company wins the AI race. You do not need to know which chipmaker dominates the next decade. You just need to be positioned in the direction the capital is already moving. Because here is what history shows. The global economy has survived world wars, oil shocks, financial crises, and pandemics. Every single time, over long enough periods, markets recovered and reached new highs. Not because of one company, not because of one sector, because human progress compounds. And index ETFs are simply a way to own that progress. The real story was never ETFs. It was the direction of capital. Because when trillions of dollars start moving toward AI, semiconductors, energy security, and critical infrastructure, the world changes with it. Markets follow capital. Capital follows opportunity. And opportunity follows the forces reshaping the world. The financial axis is shifting. The question is whether you are moving with it. Subscribe to AxisShift, because the world is turning and you should know which way.